Yeti. It's been a while since we did the book review, but you know I had to do one for Bobby Hundreds. This is not a T-shirt. Um, Great. First off, just a dope book. I already judged this book by its cover. I was like, yo, this shit's fire. He used a font. Everyone's been using like Helvetica, Times New Roman, whatever comes on the damn computer. But now he used one I don't know the name of, so kudos right off the top. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. This is not a T-shirt by Bobby Hundreds. Is a great book because obviously Bobby is known for dropping T-shirts. He owns the Hundreds brand. It says a brand, a culture, a community, a life in streetwear, and it's a great book. I'll pull this little sleeve off for you so you can see. It's his vibe though. I'm not gonna lie. This has a good aesthetic to it. I enjoyed the book mainly off of the fact that, I bought the book mainly off the fact that it was by Bobby Hundreds, and I enjoyed the Hundreds brand growing up. I graduated in 2011, so Hundreds was popping in high school during that time. This book is the format, I would say, at that point. It really shows his come up, and a lot of people were trying to kind of come up this way. There's a lot of people who do certain things because they heard it works. They print in their garage at first, and then move on to more elaborate ideas. One of the stories that stick out to me the most on this was Fred Siegel's story. Fred Siegel has been a prominent place to shop in LA for a long time, but it's been real forward with pushing like streetwear brands and just smaller brands that are really on the come up that have good style. Bobby tells a story about him being on Sunset, or I'm not sure if it was the one on Sunset or the other Fred Siegel. There's two of them in LA. But he went up to the cashier guy and was like, yo, how do I sell this? Or, how do I get my stuff on the rack? He was like, oh, you want to talk to the merchandiser or whatever. And so then he learned the lingo. And he pretty much was like, yo, you ain't heard of us? I know you guys are tight. And he kind of like fugazied his way into there. And then after he was already on the shelf, he plotted out a plan of having his friends go up in there, his girlfriend buy shit off the racks to make his shit look tight. So I was like, oh, this is hard. And that was like with his first 20 shirts or something. All he did was he was just a really good drawer. He didn't know how to sell his art. He didn't know how to put it on to the shirts and do that. This was his learning experience. So then he drives over to Brooklyn Projects, which is another store off of Melrose if you're not from LA. And he pretty much goes in there. They're prominent at the time as well for being like pushing the edge of streetwear culture. And he goes in there and he pretty much says, yo, can I get my stuff on here? He goes, oh yeah, what are the stores you guys in? He's like, oh, we're at Fred Siegel, and he knows the buyer there. So he was like, oh yeah, I'll take whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then, kind of just finagles from there. But the come up, it can come at any time. You could be trying something that a bunch of people have done and it can actually work for you. Or you could try all that and it doesn't, and you have to find the new wave to do it. But another story was that he had a t-shirt factory. This is all spoilers, or I don't give all the details that he does, but basically there was a t-shirt factory that did his t-shirts, and then they were popping when he first stepped in there, and they didn't even want to touch his brand because they were like, bro, we're doing like Staples Center, fan shirts and shit. Like, we're not, your little 100 pack is not really gonna do, and Bobby was really only trying to do like 25 at the time. So fast forward a couple years later, after the Hundreds kind of got big, they went over there and they were like, yo, what do you got? You guys are like our biggest business now, so like you guys should just buy us out. That was their idea. And there you go. That was the start of like cutting out the middleman and like really getting on the progressive end of managing a t-shirt business, or what just started as a t-shirt business. And it was a real crazy era because you can't really duplicate that anymore. As you guys know, I used to run a hip-hop blog, theeasyplaylist.com, and Bobby still connects with his fans through his blogs. That was like his main way. Like, he had a story, he had emphasis on t-shirts and like just kind of relevant information and life lessons that he was able to share. So I like that Bobby is able to connect that way. He still does it through a text, like the community chat or whatever, so you can still get part of that. But and you can see his newest blogs when they come out and get links to hundreds.com with all kinds of shit early. But yeah, anyways, the book, fire. He gave some tips too. If you're starting a streetwear brand, put a basketball on that shit. That shit will sell. Something about basketball and streetwear. There's another tip right there. And then, yeah, the power of the blog. That shit is low key dead, but the power of content isn't. So if you got a lot of content, you could still kind of focus it for someone to go watch, and that's what we're seeing here. So go buy that book. Link in description.